Welcome, folks, and happy St. Patrick's Day. And join us in Let It Be Easy.
Let it be easy, balance to know. Let it be easy, release and let go. Let it be easy, follow your soul. When it is easy, you're one with life's flow. Let it be easy, balance to know. Let it be easy, release and let go. Let it be easy, follow your soul. When it is easy, you're one with life's flow. Let it be easy, balance to know. Let it be easy, release and let go. Let it be easy, follow your soul. When it is easy, you're one with life's flow.
Good morning, everyone. Unity of Appleton. Hello here, hello at home. It's always my pleasure to be up here. So this is March 17th, and I'm looking ahead to April. And one of my roles, which I love, is to wave the banner for Earth Care. And April 2nd is Earth Day, and Unity Worldwide Ministries has created an Earth Care team comprised of ministers and lay people from around the United States. And this team has joined an eco challenge for the month of April, for the whole month of April. March and I are now members of that team, but all of you may become members starting April 1st. And when you sign on to the website of the Eco Challenge and you join the Unity Earth Care team, you are joining people from around the United States that are Unity Earth Care minded people. And I created an example of some of the challenges on a sheet of paper, which I placed on the Connect and Serve table. We will be challenged to put one of our principles into action to honor the earth. And I will just read a couple of them. Reverend McKinney saw my list. She goes, I hope you're not going to read all those. I'm like, I promise I won't read them all. But some examples, I mean, they're very doable. This is the one I just naturally do because I know it's to be true. I know it's true that when I connect with nature, I need to connect with nature every day. Some of us that were so lucky growing up as little kids, growing up surrounded by nature, the woods or the farm or your animals or your favorite park or playground, you just know that there's something that fills your gut, that fills your heart, that fills your soul. And if you don't do it, you're just not as happy. I'll just say it that way. So one is 30 for 30 in nature. Studies have shown that when we spend consistent time in nature, our health improves, our creativity increases, and our connection to the planet gets stronger. Each day of the Eco Challenge, I will spend 30 minutes in a large or small patch of nature, then share my observations, reflections, and learnings on the feed, meaning you can go to this website, and once you become and join the Unity Earth Care team, you can say, Linda Nett Dusterhap took a 30-minute walk out at Wyowash Nature Trail. Bedford took a tapper through the park over at Herb Park for a run with Tapper in the lead. So yeah, taking your dog for a walk, it's a way of connecting with nature. But so anyway, on that Connect and Serve table, I have a whole list of examples of things that you could do to connect with the earth. Also on the back table, I created a list of documentaries that I think you might find, at least it's my intention, that they might nurture you as a human, or you find nurturing of the planet or nurturing of life in general. So things like, you are what you eat. And it's an identical twin study where these twins, they changed their diets and their lifestyles for 8 weeks. And it was designed to explore how certain foods impact the body. Another is The Elephant Whisperer. Very different than You Are What You Eat, but it's about this Indian couple that take care of orphaned baby elephants. And it won an Oscar in 2022. Live to 100, Secrets of the Blue Zones, Life on Our Planet. If you want, another one is called Kiss the Ground, about regenerative farming. And we are little regenerative farmers ourselves right here at Unity Appleton, you guys. I heard somebody say they brought their compost in to put in the compost bin out in the backyard this morning, and then we use that on our vegetable garden. So we are really cool, you guys. So look for that, a whole list. These happen to all be on the Netflix platform because that's the only platform I'm currently subscribing to. Yes?
The sign-up will be in Community Connections April 1st, the link.
Oh, thank you. April 1st?
Well, you said we couldn't register until April 1st, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. So on April 1st, the link to signing up to join this Eco Challenge will be in our Community Connections, thanks to our work here together. Thank you, Paige. So I think that's it for my morning welcome. And if you see me up here in April, I'll probably be talking along these same lines. Okie doke. So let's move on. To share and speak aloud our vision. A world powerfully transformed through shared spiritual awakening. And our mission, advancing the movement of spiritual awakening and transformation through unity, a positive path for spiritual living. And our values, abundance, acceptance, community, diversity, integrity, joy, and love. And we celebrate our children. Unity of Appleton sees the divinity in all children and nurtures their unfolding spirituality. Today's daily word is prayer. In the Revealing Word, Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore described prayer as the most highly accelerated mind action known. This awareness is my comfort and assurance as I release my worldly concerns and feel the presence of God. As I pray, I immerse myself in the silence so I can be still and know. From this place of deep communion, I relax and focus my attention on the divine ideas of life, love, wisdom, strength, and order, which are always mine to claim. As these spiritual truths flourish in my consciousness, thoughts of my troubles and worries fade from my mind. In the past, I may have believed prayer was a way of asking God for help and solace. Now, I understand it as one of the best ways of helping and uplifting myself. And from Psalm chapter 46, verse 10, "Be still and know that I am God." And if you would speak aloud the affirmation together, prayer. I feel the presence and power of God as I pray.
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. We're mindful what we're saying, seeking higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and knowing God is everywhere. Our every thought becomes a prayer. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. We're mindful what we're saying, seeking higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and knowing God is everywhere. Our every thought becomes a prayer.
So we have with us today, again, the marvelous Reverend Sandra McKinney, who drives all the way from Eau Claire every day, well, every Sunday when she's with us, and we appreciate that. I always love Reverend Sandra's down-to-earth examples. I think it's wonderful. She always gives us stuff stuff to think about, things to ponder during the rest of the week. So please, I would love to introduce, while I spit on myself this morning, I don't know what's wrong with me, Reverend Sandra McKinney. Please welcome her.
Thank you, Paige. And thank you for that reminder of Earth Day. In Eau Claire at Unity, the Earth Care team is doing the entire service. So I'll just plant that seed for here on Earth Day, which is the 21st, I believe, which is a Sunday, I think. Happy St. Patrick's Day. You know, McKinney's my maiden name, and the name I was born with, and my mother's maiden name was McMurray. So I claim Irish, even though there's none there. It's all English and Scottish. But on today, we all claim to be Irish, right? You know, I've been in Unity 49 years in June, so almost 50 years. And I've been asked a lot over the years, especially when you're first involved with Unity, what is Unity? Because a lot of people still have never heard of it. And for years, I really found that difficult to explain. And, I would say, well, it's a place where I know I feel good. It's a place where I go to feel God. It's a church. Well, we don't really use that word. We use center. But everyone says church. Some unities might look like a church. Some might not look anything like a church. It's non-denominational, but really it's kind of its own denomination. But the one thing I know for sure that I can say about Unity, it was founded on prayer. That's really, I think, major in our history and in the knowing what unity is, that foundation of prayer. So that's what we can know for sure. Its origins, its beginnings were prayer. And our basic principle, number 4, there's just 5 of them, but number 4 is about prayer and meditation. And here's one that might be familiar to some people. Sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God. Praying only for knowledge of God's will for us and the power to carry that out. That's step 11 in AA. So, think of how unity then and those 12 steps interact, which I found very helpful. So prayer's probably been a part of our lives since childhood. How many were taught, now I lay me down to sleep? I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. That prayer soothes nighttime fears. And I really have a vivid memory of teaching that to my own children. So I have a prayer story from childhood. I may have shared it here before, so forgive me if you're hearing it for the second time. But I find most people don't remember anyway. But it's a demonstration of how prayer works so much bigger than we can even think about. In the 1950s, some of you were alive then, all businesses were closed on Sunday. Does anybody remember that? Actually, it was kind of a nice time. Now, our family would go to church, Presbyterian. Then we would go home for Sunday dinner. And then mid-afternoon, probably after a little nap for Dad, we would go on what we called the Sunday drive, because there really wasn't anywhere to go. But my mother loved riding around. She didn't drive, and she loved looking at houses. And so my father would drive. So as an 8, a 9, a 10, 11, 12-year-old, I can remember sharing the back seat with my brother. We had that invisible line down the middle of the seat that we couldn't touch each other. There were no seat belts. And I can remember praying vividly as we would get close to knowing we were headed home. Praying, please, God, let us stop and get an ice cream cone. And most of the time we did. Well, when I was in 14th, in 9th grade, my parents bought an ice cream store. Now, I didn't put those childhood prayers coming from the back seat of the car and the purchase of that store, I didn't put that together as the power of prayer until I was in my 50s. And I was in a prayer class with Unity, at Unity Village. And those childhood prayers came to mind, and it's like, whoa, I not only manifested a cone, we manifested the whole store. I had a cone any day I wanted one. God is so much bigger. And then there's the teenage prayer. God, get me out of this one. I'll never do it again. Anyone say that one? I said that one a lot. So when Myrtle Fillmore, our co-founder, was told, as a child of God, you do not inherit sickness, she took that into prayer, speaking those life-affirming words to her tuberculosis-ravaged body. And she went on to live a life of health and wholeness well into her 80s. So news of her prayer experience, this is important, not of her healing experience, news of her prayer experience spread, and the people began sending their prayer requests to Myrtle. That's our foundation. That's the foundation of Unity. You know, Unity has a 5-step prayer process. Maybe you've studied that here in classes. That really helps us learn how to pray in the Unity way. Number 1, a beginning. You know, just like you were beginning to write a letter. So a recognition of God's existence and an address. Dear God, dear Source, dear Spirit, Light, Lord, whatever name that you use for that essence of the divinity that we call God. So a beginning, that's number 1. And then number 2, unifying with God, with that essence. Speaking words to recognize our connection, that we are one with that power. We're one with the I Am. Knowing everything I need is within me now. So acknowledging our oneness with the divine. Then 3, realization. Making real, calling into actuality what we desire. Accepting, affirming, choosing our good. Confidently speaking those words, believing it as we're saying it. Always in the present tense. So I affirm wholeness, health, perfect choices. So number 4, giving thanks, gratitude. Giving thanks for all that I am and all that I receive. Knowing it on some level of knowing that it's already happened. That is really a part of what makes the prayer so powerful. And then number 5, releasing, letting go, allowing God to work. We let it go. It's not ours to do, it's God's to do. I now release, knowing all is well. And then thank you, God, a closing. You know, there's many ways to pray, but only one purpose, to change consciousness. Praying for others is as much for you as it is for them. Affirmative prayer is simple. You know, it requires us to think in ways that will naturally create what we desire in concert with spiritual truth. It's praying the way Jesus prayed. It's praying as the Buddha prayed. It's using the spiritual laws of the universe to unfold in our lives the experience that we desire. You know, affirmative prayer is about shifting our beliefs. Affirmative prayer does not deny any condition or situation. That's important. Affirmative prayer does not deny any condition or situation. It just doesn't feed positivity to it. It affirms the power of God in the condition or the situation, whatever going on. Words like, in spite of the appearance of an illness, I know that at cellular level is perfection. And that power in praying for others, when we pray affirmatively for others, we become independent, interdependent, and we bring power to that relationship, even if the person doesn't know we're praying for them. We make God's resources available to another. We put the needs and hurts of the other into perspective. We develop a spirit of hope and optimism. We sense this belongingness and the significance and importance of that work, that prayer work. And how about those things we might not feel so good about? Someone we might hold ill feelings towards. Someone who hasn't agreed with us, or maybe an ex in a relationship, someone we've argued with, someone who's harmed us. Abraham Lincoln said, "When I hold kind thoughts towards you, I make my enemy my friend." And a quote from one of my favorite movies, Junebug. Anyone ever see that? It's a great movie. I encourage you to go look it up. On the screen at the end of the movie, before the movie's over, and the black screen comes up, and these words before the credits: "God loves you just the way you are, but he loves you too much to let you stay that way." That's a great prayer for someone we're having issues with. Silent unity has been a window into the hearts and minds of people around the globe who are seeking prayer support. And it all started from those letters that would come to Myrtle. That's how Silent Unity started. Support provided by affirmative prayer. And there's another quote from Mark 11:24 when Jesus said, "So I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe you have received it, and it will be yours." That's so unity. Whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you've received it, and it will be yours. So when we pray, we're not asking, we're not beseeching, we're not begging. I went with a Baptist friend once to a gathering for prayer, and there were such begging prayers. It's like, oh, that just felt foreign to my ear. But we're affirming wholeness, perfection, for every situation. Here's what Charles Fillmore writes, and I think it was in today's Daily Word. "Communion between God and man," he continues, "this communion takes place in the innermost part of man's being. It's the only way to cleanse and perfect the consciousness, and thus permanently heal the body. Prayer is the most highly accelerated mind action known. It steps up mental action until man's consciousness synchronizes with Christ's mind. It's the language of spirituality. When developed, it makes man, I always like to throw in woman, master in the realm of creative ideas. Prayer is more than supplication. It's an affirmation of truth that eternally exists, but which has not yet come into consciousness. It comes into consciousness not by supplication, but by affirmation. And that ends Fillmore's writings on prayer. I always have to ask when reading Fillmore, what did he say? So, in maybe a little simpler language, prayer. A one-on-one with God. Connecting with that divinity that's within us. One-on-one with God. In a place that reaches above the intellect. So not in the thinking mind, but above that, to divine mind, to Christ mind. A place where ideas are birthed, where truth exists, with affirmation, affirming, not by asking. Another important piece, affirming, not asking. A truth that is already there, like Myrtle's healing, and the power of our words. and I probably shared this before because I think it's always worth repeating, related to healing. The greatest number of prayer calls to Silent Unity are for healing. And one of my instructors at Unity, when I was training to work at Silent Unity, said, rather than asking for a healing, affirm the truth of health, the wholeness, the perfection that's in every cell, tissue, and organ. If you're asking for healing, which is a process, we may be asking for more of the process, more opportunities for healing. That's really big when you think about it. And how many prayers we get asked all the time for healing. And if we're using those words that we're going to pray for a healing, is that really what we want to pray for? More of the process to heal? No, we want to pray for health and wholeness. You know, one of the most powerful prayers I ever heard was from my 14-year-old grandson at his confirmation at a Missouri Synod Lutheran church where he had been schooled from kindergarten to high school. I'm sorry, Cody. But praying aloud in front of 50 people as a 14-year-old, he began the prayer, "My only prayer, God, is to know you better." Wow. What blew me away, he could do that, get up in front of 50 people and say a prayer as a 14-year-old. But my only prayer, God, is to know you better. That's a powerful prayer. He's now 32. He kind of went off of that path for a while. I think he's back on it now. You know, there was a temporary Sunday school teacher in a large church who was struggling with the combination lock that was on the supply cabinet. She'd been told that combination, but she couldn't remember it. So she went to the pastor's study to ask for help. Well, he came into the room, and after 2 numbers, he paused. He looked heavenward as though he was saying a prayer. He looked back to the lock, and he turned it again, and voila, it's opened. Well, the teacher was amazed. I'm in awe, she said, of your power with prayer. He said, well, it's nothing. He said, the combination is written on a piece of tape on the ceiling. So if prayer hasn't been a part of your life, there are ways to incorporate it that are really quite simple. Say a prayer when your phone rings. Now, with today's phones, we kind of know who's calling, right? But before you answer, send some positive, loving energy to that person, whether it's somebody you know or not. Sending light, love, energy, that's a prayer. And even if it's a telemarketing call, I've done that work, they need your prayers. Say a prayer when you wake up, before you get out of bed. Just a little short. Thank you, God, for this morning. Say a prayer just before you go to sleep. In AA, they tell us, put your shoes under your bed. And when you're down there, putting them under the bed, you're on your knees. Say a little prayer. And when you get down there in the morning to get your shoes, say a prayer. The major Western traditions, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, they all subscribe in large measure to this out there construct. So God is primarily prayed to. Well, the mystics that include unity lend to the in-here aspect, resonating with the notion of the self as divine. And from that perspective, prayer is more introspective and akin to meditation. And no matter the form of prayer, one type of prayer that resonates to all faiths is a prayer of blessing. Blessing is when prayer moves us from praying for me to praying for you to praying for us, for all of us. There was an interesting bit of science attached to prayer. Maybe you heard about this. Coming out of Duke University Medical Center, there was a study that within a group of 150 cardiac patients, some received alternative postoperative therapy treatment. A subgroup also received intercessory prayer, which means they were prayed for. That group had the highest success rate of the entire cohort. And the fascinating thing about the study is that it was a double-blind study, that neither the researchers nor the patients knew who was getting prayers. And then there was a comparable double-blind study from San Francisco General Hospital's coronary care unit that demonstrated similar results. The patients prayed for showed a significant diminished need for imminent critical care, maintenance medications, heroic measures, as well as witnessing fewer deaths. Silent unity was involved in that research when I worked there. So we were part of the people who would pray for the heart patients. You know, we're in that time called Lent, the time before Easter. And you know, Easter includes many of the rituals of Catholic and Protestant faiths. And Holy Week can be a walking prayer if we do things that week prior to Easter. You know, the request that Jesus gave 3 of his disciples as he entered into this time of prayer in the Garden of Gethsemane on that night of the Last Supper, he said, "Stay with me. Remain here with me. Watch and pray." Prayer is so important. There are many forms of prayer. Song is a form of prayer. Sharing what's on your heart. Silent prayers, sitting and listening to someone else is a form of prayer. And we communicate with God when we reach out and help another. And that's also a form of prayer. So prayer, it's unity's foundation. You know, as I was going to sleep last night, this thought came. What if our life is a prayer? Let your life be a prayer. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandra. I now invite you to begin to prepare yourself for reflective personal prayer and guided musical meditation, after which I ask that you remain in essential silence during the music. If you choose to, you can close your eyes. Feel the weight of your body as it relaxes into your chair and you let go of today's anxieties. Feel your feet on the solid earth as you let go of tomorrow's worries. Become aware of your breathing as you breathe in life and breathe out love. Breathe in life and breathe out love. As you become centered, focus on your beautiful heart, your beautiful Christ self. Become filled with gratitude and allow into yourself that which fills you with peace and love. So we begin. Now I invite you to gently return to this place. Open your eyes in the spirit of peace and gratitude.
We now enter into more prayer. This is called the healing prayer. I am love, I am health, I am peace. I deserve to be loved, I deserve to be happy, I deserve to be healthy. I am a child of God, I deserve nothing less. Today I accept my healing of body, mind, and spirit. I forgive myself for the mistakes I made without forgetting any, because I am not guilty of anything. I could not act any other way in those moments. I forgive all the people for whom I felt anger. I accept them because they could not be as I wanted. I release them and I free myself from the resentment forever. I cancel the past in the present to free my future. I deserve to enjoy the love of my loved ones. I stop judging myself and judging others forever. I now release all my pain, my mistakes, and my illness, so Spirit can transform it into health, love, and peace. I accept everything as it is now, and with patience to begin to finally heal. God, you are in me, and I am in you. By your divine power and your love within me, I decide to heal my body, my mind, and my soul. I open my heart to your pure love that surrounds me with its radiant light, revitalizing every cell of my body. Every negative thought becomes positive, recreating myself in a new life full of love and joy. I will share this love with all, communicating everything I feel. I wish to heal with all my heart and then to help others, thus fulfilling my mission of love and communication of love in this light. Thank you, universe. That already is. We move from prayer to our affirmation of prosperity. And this is a time when those of us who feel Unity of Appleton is our spiritual home practice putting Spirit first in our financial life. This practice prospers the spiritual community we love and supports our own spiritual growth and prosperity. Please give whatever amount Spirit guides you to give, whether it is in person or electronically, whatever that amount is. Take that gift into your heart and bless it with your love. Feel free to bless the plate as it passes by. Let yourself feel grateful to God in you as your one source. Then please join in our affirmation of prosperity. Unity of Appleton is alive with the energy of Spirit in the flow of divine abundance and radiant with unlimited possibilities. And our celebration of giving and receiving. Divine love in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I joyfully give and willingly receive. I give in love, and I trust God as my source.
What if the prayer is not a plea, a desperate call with tears that fall on bended knee, but breathing out and breathing in, it's God in me that lives and breathes, my trusted friend. My life is a prayer that God is praying. My thoughts are words that God is saying. My laughter is the sound of angels praying. My life is a prayer that God is praying.
sharing our divinity with one another, and we have shared the generosity of our financial prosperity as it moves into the world. Thank you. Here is our YouTube channel. Oh, it's here. Not did. It's how our YouTube channel did last month. We had 2 new subscribers. Total views 196. That's a lot of views. And 2,139 minutes were watched. Thanks for putting that up there. It's good to know. We have great book studies. Fridays 1 to 2 at Unity is A Course in Miracle with Alan Cohen, and yes, the one made easy. That's the key. And thank you, Karen Sophie, for facilitating that. And can't make the Course in Miracles Made Easy book study on Fridays. Good news, another study of this book starts Tuesdays, April 2nd, from 6 to 7 p.m. via Zoom. Wow, who's doing that?
Carmen.
Carmen, thank you, Carmen. Brilliant Bliss is here, I believe, today, from 1 to 3, $22 at the door. Come and join us. And before that, we have soup downstairs.
Yeah, we do.
$5 a person. Just show up downstairs at 11:45, and there's some desserts too.
Wait a minute, I just gotta do a shameless plug for the soups, okay? We got 4 different kinds. We have vegan African peanut stew.
Ooh.
We have 2 vegetarian, a creamy tomato, and a vegetable made by Linda. And then for the carnivores, there is taco soup as well. Homemade desserts, fresh baked bread, Brett Smith bread, rolls, and you don't want to miss Carrie's Scotcheroos because they are the bomb. So please join us.
And there's always coffee. And there's always coffee.
Man, that's a lot of soup. We could get down there. Thanks, Paige. Drum wash, is that like a car wash? I never heard of a drum wash. Okay, Reiki session with Sarah Casperson this Tuesday, March 19th from 6 to 7 p.m. Tickets are $20 cash at the door.
I think it's like cleansing, but it is like spiritual cleansing.
A spiritual cleansing?
Wash,
Yep.
wash, cleansing, yes.
Okay.
And again, on the previous slide, sorry, if you want to know more about what she does have the Facebook page, Sarah's Divinely Connected. She does describe what she does in the drum washes there, so it gives you a better idea.
Okay, thank you. Want to learn new skills? We really need people to help with tech. Don't be nervous. You don't need to know anything about tech to help. A few minutes of your time will make a big difference. Interested? There will be a short training session next Sunday, March 24th from 9 to 9:45. And I see a third person back there. Thank you. Marie. The book study upstairs is over. Wondering what to do after the service Sundays? Adventures in Resilience by Sharon Connor's book study will be held Sundays, 11:30 to 12:30, starting April 7th, led by Emily Ilge and Karen Gilmore. Sign up at the Connect and Serve table. Karen has 8 copies of the book for sale. Cool. Now, before we say that, I also want to remind you on the Connect and Serve table, take the 2 resources I gave you for Earth Care. Okie doke. So, if we could all say together, prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Unity of Appleton, it is our place, a home where we love and learn and sing. When we get together, it's the love in our hearts. If we all stay mindful